So thanks again, Dr. Franz, for giving us an opportunity to introduce our master specialization here. And hello and warm welcome to everyone from Aachen, Germany. My name is Dr. Anand Sharma, and I'm the research associate and coordinator of quantum technology specialization, or the study track as we call here, at the RWTH Aachen University. This program is in joint collaboration with Forschungszentrum, or the Research Center in Jülich, within the Jülich Aachen Research Alliance, along with this cluster of excellence called Matter and Light for Quantum Computing, which is ML4Q, which is a joint collaboration along with the University of Cologne and Bonn University, also in Germany. So our quantum technology study track, or the specialization, is a joint collaboration between the Department of Physics and the Faculty of Electrical Engineering, Information Technology, and the Computer Engineering at the RWTH Aachen University. In physics, it's a new regular study track, or so-called one of the 7 specializations, and we started in the winter semester 2019-2020, so 1 year ago, exactly 1 year ago. So it's a proper specialization there, study track. However, in the electrical engineering department, we are a part of already existing one of the 6 study tracks called micro and nano electronics, or MENA in short. You can know or learn more about directly from this website, as you can see there on the screen, or you can just type RWTH and then MSc QT, and our website should be the first one, or you can use this QR code. So what I'm going to introduce to you today is I will tell you about Aachen and the city of Aachen and the RWTH. And then I will say one slide about what exactly is quantum technology. The reason I'm going to tell this is because it will form, you will see that it's one of the topics is a part of our focus of research. And I will also, it will be followed by the course curriculum, and where I will introduce the study plan and some of the highlights I will give. And then finally, I will conclude with some research focus where I will give those or introduce those topics, and also mention the groups who are working on this. On those topics. So Aachen, where is Aachen? Aachen is actually the westmost city of Germany. It's or the biggest, well-known westmost city of Germany. It's bordering with Netherlands and Belgium. In Dutch, it's also called Aachen, or in the French part of Belgium, it's called Aix-la-Chapelle. As you see, it's a tri-border city. 3 countries are basically meeting there, and so it has a very rich and diverse culture, and it has also a very great historical importance, as it has been for centuries a place for coronation of German kings. So what is Aachen also historically famous for? It's famous for its so-called gingerbread, or here we call it as Aachener Printen. It's although it's available all around the year, it's in the downtown here, but this is actually one of the best time to have the gingerbread in the so-called warm Christmas markets. Although I'm not so sure during the Corona whether it will take place, but this is Aachener Christmas market is one of the 5 most famous Christmas markets of Germany. So not only this printing, or so-called, actually literally these biscuits or the gingerbread are printed. So this technology is not only the old, but we also have a lot of new technologies. And Aachen is actually also a technology and innovation hub of Germany, with with 193 inventions and more than 100 patents applications which have been already there. And there are 53 licensing agreements, and 65 startup companies have come out, and one of the famous also is a so-called an Ego. It's a car company which builds electrical cars and scooters and other vehicles. So the last thing about Aachen which I would like to tell is it has about 250,000 inhabitants, and more than 20% are students and employees of RWTH. So it has a large fraction of people are working or somehow involved with the university. So talking about RWTH, let's see what are the facts and figures. So the size of the student strength is approximately around 45,000, of which 1/4 are international students from 137 different countries. So we have around 9,500 students who are in the first subject rate semester, which means they are either in the first year of their bachelor or the first year of master's. And in 2018, we had 7,000 graduates. We have 550 professors, 8,700 academic as well as non-academic staff, which are full-time employees. Altogether, we have 9 faculties here and 260 institutes, and 162 courses of studies we propose basically. So apart from the academics, the research is also very strong. We have 22 collaborative research centers here and 34 research training programs. And we also have 3 clusters of excellence, which is a nationwide call for high-funded excellent research, and Aachen is one of them. And we are actually having this cluster of excellence along with this within this ML4Q program, where University of Cologne is a host actually, along with Bonn University is and Forschungszentrum Jülich is also part of that ML4Q. And we also have 1 University of Excellence, and in all the total annual budget is 1 billion euros. So that's all about the university. So let me just tell you one slide about what is actually quantum technology. Perhaps you all know, but I would just kind of say that it's a very new field of physics and engineering. It's also dubbed as, or turned, people call it as also a second quantum revolution. The first already happened thanks to the technology that we are now reusing it. So what does quantum technology does? So basically it exploits the basic principles of quantum mechanics, like the quantum entanglement, superposition, and tunneling for practical applications like quantum communication, computing, sensors, or metrology as they call, and also simulation. So these 4 form also as a so-called the 4 pillars of quantum technology. And RWTH Aachen University, along with the others, other partners, we are focusing on quantum computing, about which I will tell you a bit later. So what do we do with this quantum computing? What exactly do we offer to the students? So I would like to tell you more about the curriculum or the study plan and some other highlights. So this is a curriculum, as you see, as I was mentioning, it's a joint collaboration between the Department of Physics and the Faculty of Electrical Engineering, because that's how the first quantum revolution started. So we want to follow the same thing. We want like to combine the basics of quantum mechanics, which stems from the physics, and we want to apply it, or we want to make a technology out of it. And there we need to shake hands with our colleagues at the electrical engineering department. So what we offer to the students is, as you can see on the left table, I'm showing you the curriculum of the Department of Physics, and on the right is for the electrical engineering. On the left, the students can choose for the winter semester, which we usually propose, although student can also join the program from the summer semester onwards, but we propose to start from the winter semester because it stems very logically, and everything goes on very smoothly from there onwards, because the courses are also related there. So for example, in the winter semester, we have the students have a choice of taking core courses. So one of the core courses is about condensed matter physics 1, which is experimentally oriented, or they can take 2 of the theory courses, which are quantum theory of condensed matter and also theoretical solid state physics. So they have to choose one of these courses. Then apart from that, there is also another core, or the so-called compulsory course, which is a hardware platform for quantum technology, which is a newly developed course. And then they can take a bunch of elective courses, which we also offer. So this is in the winter semester from the Department of Physics. And then in the electrical engineering, we have a different curriculum a little bit. There they have smaller courses, and they have to take all of these courses which are mentioned there, like this compound semiconductors and the optical components and the high frequency electronics and the solid state technology and the VLSI design. So, and apart from that, they also have to take the hardware platform for quantum technology. And we introduce a new course called Quantum Mechanics for Electrical Engineers. So this is very popular not just for electrical engineering students who are quantum technology oriented, but also in general who would like to somehow learn about quantum mechanics in general. Then they can also take a lot of other elective courses. Then in the summer semester, we have another compulsory course called quantum information. This is a so-called a backbone or the heart of this the entire program or the specialization, followed by a lab course called quantum technology, which is also a new one, a newly developed lab course. And then they can take again elective courses to fulfill their so-called first 60 credits in the first 2 semesters. The last 2 semesters are basically based on master thesis. So there they will have to present in the first half of the year. They will have to present a seminar, and also in the second half they usually present they finish their thesis and they present colloquium. It's an open colloquium, and anyone who's interested can join. More basically about the elective courses can be found at our curriculum, which the links are given below. Sorry, cannot be clicked right now, but I would be happy to forward this PDF if anyone is interested in. So as I was saying, we introduced core courses, new core courses, but not only the 3 new courses which I mentioned in the previous slide, but we have a lot of bunch of other new courses that we introduced. So for example, in the last summer semester 2020, we also introduced quantum error correction taught by one of the founders of this field, Barbara Terhal from TU Delft. Sorry for the spelling mistake, I see that. So she taught this course, and it was a part of our new project called distance learning within the MySchool project, which I will also tell in the next slide. Then we also had spin qubit course. Then we had a course of quantum measurement. This was taught by one of the founders of actually, in a way, quantum computing, David DiVincenzo, and he taught this course last semester. And then in this coming winter semester, which will start from 26th of October here, we will have 4 new courses, and they are modeling of superconducting devices, which actually already started in Hubei. Because it's a Delft course, there the semester starts earlier. So this is again taught by Barbara Terhal. And then we will have path integral methods for quantum optics, for example, and also quantum computing. This is again a distance learning course with the Chalmers University in Sweden. And then finally, there will be a so-called selected topics from quantum technology. It's a seminar course where students will get a topic. They will have to go through those and the research papers. They will have to do their own they will have to develop their own understanding of that subject, and they will have to finally present at the end of the semester. They will have to present a seminar. So apart from the new courses, there are other highlights that I would like to point out. And first of all, the thing is, all the courses are taught in English, because I do get a lot of emails every day almost. So students, they ask, are these courses in German or so no, all the master courses here are taught in English. So it's an English language program. Secondly, we also have bridging courses for some international students who, let us say, don't have a necessary background of quantum mechanics. Because imagine if you come from a university where the quantum mechanics is not taught at the level as we expect from our bachelor students, which we teach them. So then those international students can also take the bridging course. So there they can strengthen their quantum mechanics knowledge also. Then as I was saying about the matter and light for quantum computing, this cluster of excellence, we also have a new course developed called Platforms for Quantum Technology. It's a bit different than the hardware platform that we offer, in the sense that there are a lot of new topics that are introduced which are not existing in our current platform course. So for example, this course will, in the next year, it will be in the month of March and April, when there is a so-called semester break here. This happens during the break, not during the semester. Then we have, as I was mentioning, about this inter-university distance learning MySchool project, and this is carried out in collaboration with TU Delft in the Netherlands, and also Chalmers University in Sweden. I would also like to mention that there is no tuition fees, because a lot of students are asked. So education is free, the higher education there in Germany. So, and the no tuition fee also applies for the international students. However, there is a so-called a social contribution fee of 300 euros. But approximately this money, it also includes a travel ticket. So public transport ticket, the student also will get. So it's in a way they are paying for that ticket as well. And of course, they can join a lot of other student organizations, and this is a part of some kind of a fee for that. Then we also have a very new program which we started as like a 2-year financial support for 2 outstanding students. And so, for example, it started from this winter semester, and this year it was awarded to a Canadian student, so again an international student, who will be financed for complete 2 years. So what I mean by that is, so normally when a student comes here and does his or her master thesis, so they get financial support from the group. So for the 2 years program which we have, so first year, which is a study, they don't get any money, they have to support themselves. But in the second year, they can actually get support from the PI, under the supervisor under whom he or she will be carrying out his or her master thesis. So, but this new thing, it basically removes a burden and gives a full 2-year financial support to outstanding students who can carry out their complete study without any financial burden. And then we also have cutting edge research projects with the focus on quantum computing, although we also have a part of quantum communication, but mostly we are focusing on the quantum computing part. I will tell more about it sooner in the next slide. So, as I was saying about quantum computing, so most of you might be aware, so I will just quickly go through it. The motivation is clear to mention that what exactly or how we differentiate a quantum computer from a classical one. So in a very simple way, if you see a classical computer, which is shown on the left, you get your electrical signals in the form of ones and zeros, and then you perform some logical operations like NAND or NAND, whatever. And then you at the end gets again electrical signals as an output. In comparison to that, for the quantum computer, there is a quantum processor, and instead of the electrical signals, what we give as an input is a quantum state. That state is nothing but a superposition of some 2-level basis states. So for example, here I'm labeling them as zeros and one. So you can form on the right-hand side below, you can see a definition of a so-called quantum bit, which is nothing but a superposition of these zeros and ones. And so you take those as a starting point, you make a lot of all the quantum gates, 2-qubit gates, 3-qubit gates, n number of all the other gates, and then you finally do the measurement also. So this is exactly how normally a quantum computer would work, or at least the building blocks of the quantum computer. So the question is, what types of different qubits are existing, and what are we doing here at RWTH? So normally what you would see as qubits are 4 different types of qubits, which we are focusing here also in Aachen, but 2 of them are traditional in the sense they are very well developed programs, like the electron spin qubits and superconducting qubits, about which I will also mention. But we have recently also ventured into Majorana qubits and ion trap qubits. So these are part of the so-called family of solid state in that sense, or atomic and molecular qubits. And this is exactly our focus also. So for example, talking of electron spin qubits, if you remember the zeros and ones, you can consider them as electron spins, as up and down. And here what I'm showing you is semiconductor so-called heterostructure, which is shown in gray. And there I'm showing a double quantum dot where an electron is trapped, and this electron trapping potential is created using this so-called light areas are finger gates, which are metallic gates made out of, for example, gold. And by varying the voltage, you can basically change the potential and the trap of this. And you can sense this using the quantum point contacts, for example, or a charge sensor in this particular case. You can, or this particular spin as well. You can also you can basically sense the state of that spin or the qubit, given qubit. So now our goal here is, so this is a very naive, very simple way of understanding a single spin qubit. And what we ultimately, our goal is to, our long-term goal is to make a quantum computer with not only tens or hundreds, actually maybe who knows, millions of such qubits, So this is basically done in a dilution refrigerator, where you see different layers here, and these each layers are for different temperatures. The lowest most layer can have a temperature as low as 100 millikelvin or something like that. Around that time, it depends upon the cooling fridge. So the idea there would be a chip sitting there with such millions of qubits, which the micrographs which I showed earlier. Here, for example, on the right hand side, I'm showing you 4 quantum dots where you can actually have 4 qubits or 4 different spins, and these can be highly controlled and also manipulated. If we can achieve this in a more controlled and more precise way, there are a lot of other factors that how can you control it, but I will refrain those now. I will just mention that if you can control that, then you can actually have your so-called a real quantum computer working. So apart from this electron or spin qubits, we also are working on superconducting qubits traditionally. And so there the goal, the theoretical goal at least, is to have a description of the system in terms of quantum circuit, superconducting circuit. And there, for example, we rely on the Josephson junction, which is a nonlinear inductor. And basically, we have a lot of candidates for such a Josephson junction basically to build in. So for example, there are flux qubits, there are phase qubits, transmon qubits, and so on and so forth. And for example, the Google one, which was recently mentioned, it was one of the transmon qubits that they realized. So what the goal is, as you know, the qubit are very susceptible to the environment. So the moment they interact with them, they lose their coherence. So, so basically our goal would be to understand this decoherence, the mechanisms of those. And ultimately, we would like to find ways to limit this and develop also more theoretical models and compare them with the experiments. So we have a lot of research groups here working. The experimental groups are done in the group of Henrik Bloom, Thomas Schapers, Beata Cardinal, Joachim Knock, who is the professor at electrical engineering, and they are in Aachen as well as in Jülich. On the theory side, we have David DiVincenzo, and then we have Fabian Hasler, Markus Müller, Barbara Terhal. She's also associated at the TU Delft, and then we have the Martin Wegerweiss and Gianluigi Catalani also. You can find more information here at the website again, which I have highlighted, flashed down. And if you have, thank you for your attention. And if you have any questions, I would be happy to take them.
Thank you, Anand. Appreciate it. You can never talk too much quantum to the quantum community.
Right.
I learned something from every talk, every one. And in this case, you gave us a dose of technology as well. So any questions from anybody? I have a very quiet group today. Well, I'll try to fill in the gaps here. First of all, I must admit, I knew zero about Aachen until it hit my radar for your quantum program. And frankly, I'm kind of dumbfounded. It's a huge university, and you know, I apologize for my ignorance in that. I do get to the area. I fly into what's the name of it? I want to say Dusseldorf. So I get into your area. I get up in Bochum and Ruhr quite often, but I've added something to my to-do list. I assume you're a train ride away from the airport.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
We are not that far. Yeah. From Düsseldorf, we are not that far. Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, it's a huge university. You've certainly got. Did I understand that correctly? That tuition is pretty much zero. I mean,
yes.
And then a student would just pay their dorm fees or living costs and that sort of thing.
So we expect that they will have, they should show a support of around 853 euros per month, which is approximately like around 10,000 euros annually. They should show that, especially for the international students, they should show that they can financially support that. Wow. So, and this includes, of course, the dorm fees and their eating and all wherever in whichever way they want to spend the money on themselves.
My goodness, I was positioning my program for that value play, but you guys got everyone beat. That's amazing. Thank you, Germany. So the program right now, it started a year ago. How many students would you say are in the program currently?
So I can say in terms of the students who are regularly taken the core courses, so for the entire first year, there are around 23 students who have taken all the core courses.
So already you're one of the larger programs in the cohort here, if you will, and that's no surprise. I mean, you got a huge university there. Question: there is no scholarship. Well, they don't need scholarships there.
Right, but we do have, as I was mentioning, for 2 outstanding students, we also give a full 2-year scholarship, which means there's 853 euros, which I was talking about. So you don't even have to worry about that. So you will be taken care of with all your everything in a way. So you just come here, you do your 2-year studies, and you go back or do whatever you want. So it's really a free, so-called in that respect, free thing. So, but before that, so wait a minute. So there was another question. So I'm just reading it loud. So I'm currently doing my undergraduate in physics. So I could enroll in the MSc Physics course and take this as a specialization. Am I right? Yeah, that's correct. So you could certainly enroll here. There are deadlines for fall and also, I mean, for summer and the fall semester, but you have to be careful these are different for international students. So I don't remember them right now, but the information is given on our webpage. So please, I hope you have that. I can flash that webpage here.
Yep.
Yeah. So you can just go and check there. All the details are given there. So is TOEFL and GRE necessary? Yes, it is. So if you come from we have identified 9 countries as a so-called native speakers, and I think US is one of them. So if you are US citizen, so I think you don't have to. You don't have to give TOEFL GRE, but if you are from any other country, so you certainly have to prove your efficiency in English. So that's correct. That information also you can find on our admission. If you click on this web page here, and if you go on the Master of Physics program, the entire one, which is one level above, so there you should find all the information about admission criteria, TOEFL GRE, and everything else. And talking of scholarship, I also would like to say, so this is for 2 special students, right? So, but apart from that, we also have a lot of other scholarships for many, I mean, for students who are coming, who have some special needs or something like that. We also support such students, like for example, the DAED, the German Academy of Research, and so they also support students with scholarships. So there are a lot of programs there as well. Okay. But they are not for 2 years. They are limited for 6 months, or at maximum for 1 year. They are not, certainly they're not a 2-year program.
Thank you. Daniel, I see your hand up. Are you referring to a question, or are you just stretching? That's something I say in class all the time, because Daniel, please.
Hello. So my name is Daniel, and I'm from Colombia. And me and another classmates from pre-grade, we are studying electrical engineering, and we are part of a group of nanoelectronic in our university. And we are currently applying to this DAED Scholarship program called Study Visits by Groups of Foreign Students, right? Well, with this program, the main goal is to enhance our professional network and discover different academic possibilities, such as master and post degree. And saying this, we would like to know if we can contact with you in order to like send an email saying the specifications of this kind of visits. And so basically we would like to visit the university and the research group if we get this DAED scholarship.
Hi, Dennis. So thanks for your question. So yeah, we would be welcoming you with open arms. So feel free, and to everyone, please feel free to come here. Regarding the application, so I am not dealing directly with the DAED. So, but of course, I would be happy to connect you to our DAED correspondent in the sense of like a person who is responsible for the DAED scholarship. I also know her. Tamara, her name is Miss Tamara Weber, so I can connect you to her, but I'm not personally contacting with the DAED. So in that respect, I personally might not be of any help in this direction.
So in this case, it's basically what we have to do with the universities is we send them an email where we talk about what we are, let's say, and there's also the link of the DAED scholarship, and what we want from the universities is to get an invitation letter from them because we need to submit it in the application.
Oh, I
So
see. Okay.
in this case, that's why we send the emails to different professors from universities so that if they can, they talk with the dean of the faculty or to whoever they have to talk, and then they send us an invitation letter in the dates we tell them that we might go to their university if they can invite us.
Absolutely. Now I understand. Now I get the picture. Okay. Yes. Yeah. We would be very happy to give or give the invitation letter. So yeah, please send your an email to me if possible. The best thing would be if you can send it with along with a CV and your recent transcripts, so that it's much easier to for us also to gauge in that respect. And but we would be very happy. We would be delighted to have you and give you or your friend as well to give you send an invitation letter. We would be happy for that.
And can you write me your email or where can I find it? Sorry.
Yeah, it's also on this website. If you go down below, there's a contact been given. But I'm also typing it right now on the screen so that it's for everyone.
And for this email, is it better if we send it like in the next 30 minutes, or is it better for you if we send it so that in Germany it is 8 a.m. or something? Is it better now or later?
No, you can send an email anytime. The only thing is, I do not know the deadlines. As you know, the DAED has deadlines for scholarships, right? So you have to be careful with those. So if I do not know when is the deadline, so this I cannot tell. So imagine the deadline is tomorrow. So I'm just saying hypothetically.
Yeah, so in this case, well, I can say right now just to tell you, we would like to have this invitation letter the next week if possible. Like
Daniel, why don't we take this offline and
Right.
you guys can talk about that.
If you can send me an
Specific
email,
thing.
Daniel.
Yeah, I will send it. Yeah, thank you so
Send me
much.
an email.
Well, welcome from Colombia. In fact, I was just talking yesterday, and we're looking to put together some programs in Spanish and Portuguese for you folks in Central and South America. So glad to see you were online here. So thanks for coming by. Any other questions or comments? Hari has one here.
Yes.
What are you looking for? I would imagine you guys are pretty competitive and difficult to get in, I would say, given the price point and the value that your program provides. How would you describe the application?
Right. So just to give you a sense of like, I'm also reading his question rather, right? So what are we expecting from an applicant applying for? So of course, there are a set of documents which are listed. As you know, Germany is very, in that sense, bureaucratic. So they expect all the list of documents. They are also listed in this application folder or something there. So if you ask me in terms of qualifications, so we expect that you have taken certain courses So for example, there are certain courses that we expect, like for example, quantum mechanics. So that's very essential. So if you have not taken such a course, which is an hour level on our website, by the way, if you go through this, click on this website below and go there. So I have also given you there, provided a so-called a script, quantum mechanics script from one of the professors. So there you can just, it's in German because the bachelor topics are taught in German. However, the point is, you can see the content of that that course itself. So there, for that, it's pretty much in normal so-called English, or I mean Latin in general. So you can read that also. So you will come to know that these are the topics that we expect students to know, and also they should be able to solve some problems. And then there are some courses that we expect them to take, because we also get so for example, applications from mechanical engineers. So unfortunately, we cannot tailor them. We cannot tailor each and every fields of research. Sometimes we also get applications for our master MS program from the geophysics. So again, there it's a little bit difficult, but we have given on the website, we have provided a list of so-called minimum courses or the qualifications. And in terms of experience, of course, we don't expect any experience like working in the industry. That's not a must. But I mean, if you have, you can mention in your CV as well, but that's not a must. So, but we do expect courses. The reason why is because we want you to be on the par of the bachelor students here, so that everyone is on the same page when a professor starts a course and delivers certain things. So everyone should be able to understand those things. So that's why we expect everyone to be on the same level.
Yeah, which really helps expedite, you know, deeper thought and all that. Many programs we get bogged down in just reteaching the basics.
Correct.
So that's something I'm sure you want to get sorted out before being admitted.
Exactly. So just to give you a rough idea, so last year, in the sense exactly 1 year ago, so we had 295 applicants, and out of that we could only accept around, I'm not so sure of the acceptance number, but I think it's around 160 or 150, something like that. Mm-hmm. So almost like a half. So the other half we could not, because as I said, some of them, they did not do their courses, or some of them were completely orthogonal field, like business as management. I mean, it's also nice. We want everyone, we welcome everyone, but unfortunately our effort to put them into the par with the current students will be way much. So that's why we somehow filter them out. But it doesn't mean that we undermine them. That's the point. We don't undermine their capabilities or something, but we cannot put everyone on the same page.
Yeah. I mean, to have a successful program and to have successfully individual students, you got to get the match. It's all about match.
Right.
So, all right, guys, gals, I'm a little overtime here. Thanks for hanging in there with my technical glitch. And Anand, thank you for going a little bit a lot overtime here. My bad. But I'm glad you hung out, and thanks for the presentation. You certainly awakened me to your program, and I thank you very much for that. You know, a website is useful, but nothing like hearing somebody from the program itself talking. So thank you very much. Of course, this is recorded. I hope the recording is okay. Yes. And I'll get that posted within it takes a couple of days, because I want to check with Anand before I publicize it or publish it, etc. So everybody, thanks again for coming by today. The next program is scheduled for next Wednesday. The schedule is moving around a lot. There's a lot of moving parts here. So forgive me for that, but that's the way the world works right now. So we'll see you on Wednesday. And thanks again, everybody. Have a wonderful day and a weekend coming up. So have a good one.
Cyril.
Thanks again, Anand.
Yeah, from all of us here. Thanks for giving us opportunity. And you're doing a good job.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. See you around.
See you.